What's the worst announcement your school ever made? It was during lunch when Principal Kim's voice came over the speakers, shaky and urgent. All students returned to homeroom immediately. Do not use your phones or leave the building. We exchanged confused looks as teachers herded us into classrooms. Through the windows, I saw police cars filling the parking lot. My friend Zach whispered, probably just another lockdown drill, but something felt different. The teachers looked genuinely scared. 20 minutes later, the announcement that changed everything. Students, we've discovered that someone has been contaminating the water fountains on the second floor. My blood went cold. I drank from those fountains every day between classes. The metallic taste I'd been ignoring suddenly made sense. 12 students are currently hospitalized with severe symptoms. We're testing everyone who used those fountains in the past week. Nurses started pulling kids out of class. My best friend Lena was one of them. She'd been complaining about stomach pain and dizziness for days. I told her it was probably just stress from finals. Then came the detail that made my skin crawl. The contamination was administered through a syringe inserted into the fountain filters. This required detailed knowledge of our plumbing system and security schedules. An inside job, someone with access, someone we trusted. The testing was absolute chaos. They had us line up in the cafeteria, taking blood samples and asking detailed questions. When did you last drink from the second floor? Have you experienced nausea, headaches, or fatigue? I realized I'd had all three symptoms for weeks. Hours passed. Parents arrived in panic, demanding answers. The local news showed up. I watched my mom's car screech into the parking lot through the classroom window. FBI agents walked the halls with clipboards, interviewing teachers and staff. They questioned the janitors, the cafeteria workers, even the principal himself. Everyone was a suspect. The whole investigation felt surreal. They brought in hazmat teams to test every water source in the building. Students were getting called out of class one by one for blood work. Some kids were crying, others were posting on social media despite being told not to. Then Principal Kim returned to the intercom, his voice completely broken. We've arrested the perpetrator based on security footage and forensic evidence. Long pause. It was Mrs. Moreno, our head custodian of 15 years. Gasps echoed through every classroom. Mrs. Moreno, who smiled at us every morning, who asked about our weekends, who knew all our names and always had band-aids when we got hurt. But that wasn't the worst part. She confessed that she was specifically targeting certain students. All 12 victims were on the honor roll. My stomach dropped. I was on the honor roll. So was Lena. So were most of my friends. Mrs. Moreno believed that academically gifted students were taking scholarship opportunities away from her own daughter, who struggled in school. She'd been planning this for months. The room spun around me. Every interaction with Mrs. Moreno flashed through my mind. Had she been studying us, learning our routines, deciding who deserved to suffer? Lena texted me from the hospital. Doctor said if I hadn't come in today, my organs would have started shutting down. She was slowly hurting us. My phone buzzed with messages from other honor students. Did you drink from those fountains? Are you getting tested? I can't believe she tried to harm us. The woman who'd worked at our school longer than I'd been alive, who cleaned up our messes and fixed our problems, had been systematically contaminating the smartest kids because she thought we were stealing her daughter's future. They found her notebook later, filled with our schedules, our habits, our names crossed off one by one as we got sick. She'd marked which fountains we used most, which routes we took between classes, even what time we typically drank water. The scariest part? She'd been escalating the dosage each week. The doctors said if she hadn't been caught, some of us might not have made it. She'd been watching us slowly deteriorate and smiling about it every morning when she mopped the floors we walked on. The investigation revealed she'd been doing this for 3 months. 3 months of careful planning, studying our routines, perfecting her method. Her daughter wasn't even applying for the same scholarships we were. She just wanted us gone.